So you wanted to go back.
Yeah, I really did. I really wanted to go back. When I finished Bible college, there was a church or two that contacted me about coming to be the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the church down in Cove City.
Yeah.
Contacted me about coming to be a pastor.
Uh-huh.
But I felt like I needed to go to graduate school, and I felt like I wanted to go back to the Bible college to teach, because the Bible college meant a great deal to me since it was there, and under the influence of the college that I decided to turn my life fully over to the Lord.
Mm-hmm. You'd been very involved there too, hadn't you? When did you guys get your quartet going?
Well, yeah, I've traveled for the college, represented the college a good part of my life, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was a student, I became part of the college quartet. The first quartet that ever went out in the summer of 1949.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, that quartet, which was composed of Billy Melvin and Darrell West and Murtis Carnes and Wesley Calvary.
Uh-huh.
That quartet in the summer of 1949 was a part of the influence in my being willing to go to Bible college, because I really liked that. And we were at the National League Conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My mom and I went there, and that's where I heard the quartet, and that added to the attraction of my going to Bible. So the next year, when I went to Bible college, I became part of the Bible college quartet. And so I traveled in the summer of 1950. The quartet that year, in addition to me, was Reedy Severance and Bill Sherrill and Irvin Hyman. And we traveled that summer. Okay, in the fall of 1950, the new freshman class of men included James Earl Raper, Bobby Jackson, Eugene Waddell, and Ray Turnage.
Uh-huh.
The four of them got together in registration line that fall and just singing for fun. And others listening to them thought, hey, they're good. That could be good. And so they became the freshman quartet. We already had the older quartet of those of us who were already back for the second year or more. But they became the freshman quartet, and they were really good. So for the first time ever, the school decided to take them out during the school year. Prior to that, we had only traveled for the school during the summer. And so they took those four guys, the freshman quartet, that's all they were called, out for a couple of weeks during the school year. And then the following summer, which was the summer of '51, that quartet, the freshmen, traveled for the first part of the summer. And then the league conference was in Nashville at the college, midway in the summer. And at that point, Jackson and Waddell both needed to go back home and help on the farm. And Jackson had meetings, and Waddell needed to go back and help on the farm, help his dad on the farm. So Bill Sherrill and I came to the league conference and took their places. So from that point, then we started out traveling, and it was Bill Sherrill and I, and Ray Turnage and James Earl, going further in the fall of '51. Well, a little bit later on in the summer, Bill Sherrill got drafted and had to go into service, and so Waddell came back and took his place. Anyway, then the next fall, those same four guys would have continued on to as a quartet, I'm sure. But Ray Turnage had to work more than would allow him to travel very much because of his financials. So I took Ray's place in that particular fall, and from then on, it was the four of us. It was Waddell, Jackson, and Raper and I, and we traveled together even after we graduated. Now, by the way, I graduated a year before the others did, and in their senior year, George Lee took my place and traveled with them, and during their senior year. But then, after I'd been in grad school at Bob Jones for 1 year, James Earl Raper and Bobby Jackson joined me in grad school at Bob Jones, and Waddell went to grad school at Columbia Bible College, which was just down the road from Greenville, down in Columbia, South Carolina. And so the four of us decided that we would continue to travel and represent the Bible College, even though we were in grad school down there. So for the first semester, we continued to do that. But by the end of the first semester, James Earl figured he needed a little bit additional income, and so he took a pastorate, and so that broke that up. But even though we didn't travel regularly then for the college anymore, we have continued over the years. We probably have had at least one kind of revival meeting together or something like that every year since then, until fairly recently when Waddell died. So that's sort of broken up the quartet permanently now at this point. But anyway, that's been an important part of the lives of all four of us.
Yeah.